Indeed, I did have a relationship with Miss Lewinsky that was not appropriate. In fact, it was wrong. It constituted a critical lapse in judgment and a personal failure on my part for which I am solely and completely responsible.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman. These infamous words from President Bill Clinton in 1998 would forever entangle Monica Lewinsky's name in one of the most sensational political scandals in American history. But before becoming a household name, long before the blue dress or the Starr Report, Monica Lewinsky was simply a young woman navigating life in Washington, D.C. It was during this time, in December 1997, that her path crossed with Jake Tapper, then a rising journalist who would later become a prominent anchor on CNN. Today, we're revisiting their brief encounter, a dinner that, at the time, seemed insignificant, but took on new meaning after the events that followed. A chance meeting in the Capitol. On a cold December evening in 1997, the busy streets of Washington, D.C. set the scene for an unexpected encounter. Jake Tapper, then a young journalist trying to make a name for himself in the world of political reporting, attended a going-away party at a local bar. What seemed like an ordinary night would later take on historical significance, as this was the night Tapper first met Monica Lewinsky. Lewinsky, a 24-year-old former White House intern, caught Tapper's attention with a small gesture. In the middle of a pool game, Tapper found himself short on change for the table. Lewinsky, with a smile, offered him a quarter, a seemingly insignificant act that Tapper would later describe as standing out in a city defined by ambition and political intrigue. The build-up to the date. Following their initial meeting, Tapper and Lewinsky engaged in friendly phone conversations. The calls were casual, reflecting the lives of two young professionals trying to find their footing in the nation's capital. Lewinsky, as Tapper recalled, mentioned that she was planning to leave her job at the Pentagon and move to New York to live with her mother. These details seemed ordinary at the time, but they would soon gain new significance. The dinner at Roxanne's. After a few failed attempts to coordinate, the two finally met for a dinner date on December 23, 1997, at Roxanne's, a Tex-Mex restaurant where Tapper's brother once worked. Tapper's recollections, as detailed in his 1998 article for the Washington City paper, described a fairly standard first date. Lewinsky wasn't the calorie-conscious D.C. stereotype, as she joined Tapper in appetizers and ordered an entree. Their conversation covered typical first date topics. Lewinsky shared details about her upbringing in Los Angeles, her education at Lewis and Clark College, and her career path in D.C. Tapper noted her close relationship with her mother and hints of family wealth. She came across as cheerful and open, and their conversation never veered toward President Clinton or anything hinting at the scandal that was about to unfold.
I have to laugh at my younger self, but that was when my crush started. Paid a lot of attention to me. He spent time sort of standing there and held my hand longer than he should have and gave what others have described as the full Bill Clinton. It feels as if you're the only person standing there. But it's me he did. Over the course of the rest of August and September and October and into November, we had a number of these flirtatious encounters.
The night concluded uneventfully, with Tapper describing their goodbye as innocent. There were no sparks or signs of the political storm that was brewing. Tapper thought Lewinsky was pleasant, stylish, and kind, a great dresser who left a positive impression. He even considered a second date, a thought that would soon be overshadowed by the looming scandal. In the weeks following their date, both Tapper and Lewinsky went on with their lives. Tapper, busy with personal tasks, inadvertently lost Lewinsky's phone number while cleaning his apartment. This minor event further underscored how ordinary their interaction had been, just two young people going about their lives, unaware of the media storm about to hit.
Came out within the week that the story broke, and we were kind of like mocking the media's treatment of Monica Lewinsky,
right.
The story, who I knew from a very innocent date, like in December, right before the story broke.
So you had coincidentally gone on a date with Monica Lewinsky, and then this thing broke.
Yeah.
How wild.
That was freaky.
The scandal breaks. In January 1998, the Clinton-Lewinsky scandal exploded, thrusting Monica Lewinsky into the center of a national frenzy. The woman Tapper had met only weeks earlier became the subject of intense media scrutiny and public judgment. As the world watched, Tapper found himself in a unique position, having recently interacted with someone now at the center of one of the biggest political scandals in modern U.S. history. Tapper's article, A Different Perspective. Amid the media frenzy, Tapper wrote about his date with Lewinsky in a 1998 article titled, I Dated Monica Lewinsky. Published in the Washington City paper, his article offered a more humanizing portrayal of Lewinsky, contrasting with the negative and often dehumanizing coverage elsewhere. Tapper emphasized her kindness, ambition, and normalcy, describing her as a young woman trying to find her place in Washington, just like many others. The impact of the scandal. The scandal dominated headlines and led to President Clinton's impeachment in December 1998. For Lewinsky, it was life-changing. She became a symbol of media scrutiny and public shaming, and the political fallout was enormous. The young woman Tapper had met, who had been looking forward to a new chapter in her life, found herself at the heart of a political firestorm, years of silence and reclaiming her story. Following the scandal, Lewinsky largely disappeared from public view, pursuing a degree in social psychology and trying to build a life out of the spotlight. It wasn't until 2014 that she returned to the public eye, writing a Vanity Fair essay titled Shame and Survival, where she reflected on the scandal and its impact. She also became an advocate against cyberbullying, using her own experiences to promote a more compassionate digital culture. A reunion on television. In October 2021, Lewinsky and Tapper's paths crossed once again when she appeared on his CNN show, The Lead, to promote impeachment. American Crime Story, which she produced. Their shared history was briefly acknowledged with humor, with Tapper joking about their G-rated date and Lewinsky laughingly clarifying that it was just one date.